Hello, everyone. We apologize for the inconvenience and for wasting a little bit of your time. I'll try to keep it short this time and go to the essential. Basically, this new tool, it's a tool to improve the service that we provide to our members and to facilitate further interaction amongst them. The portal has three main components. I would like to also highlight that this is exclusive and trusted space. So it's only our members can access it. Some people can be invited to specific conversations, but mostly you should see this as a safe space for conversation and questions. The portal has three main components. The central community. The central community is the home base for in which the EFC members will access organizational information related to the EFC as such. You could ask yourself the question, what's the difference then with the EFC newsletter, for example? It will be different in the sense that this is a space that allows dialogue. So you should see it more like a Facebook posting on our behalf, in which we will put some organizational information there, and you could comment and you could ask some questions regarding it. There's also another part within the platform, that is the question and answers forum. This is a space that allows any member to drop a question on whatever issue, whether it would be on an expert who knows an expert on a topic, who is working in this project, who is interested in collaborating around this, and so on. And this space will either be answered by us when it's something related to our capacity, or it will be other members feeding on that. It will, of course, vary on the type of question that you will be raising. And finally, we have the community spaces. The communities are closed conversations amongst limited number of guests. The nature will be very different. You would have, for example, some community spaces that will be closed by nature. For example, a community of a working committee of the EFC. This will be a space where the documents related to those meetings and where conversations may continue after a meeting or in preparation for a meeting, for example. But of course, this will be closed to the members of that committee. Then you have also, for example, the different thematic networks working in different topics will also have their own communities, and it will be up to each of them to decide whether they want to have a more open conversation or they want to keep the platform more closed. It will be the same for some of the major EFC events, for example, the AGA or other. They may have this space for the program committee or for members who are involved on it to have a virtual space to facilitate the conversation. So basically, the tool is there for you. We will really encourage you to use it as much as possible, to give us feedback on whatever you think could be improved. We have to really see it as a tool for you. It only makes sense if you use it and if you feed it. And you can see it as a tool for you to post the documentations, to ask questions, or to keep an ongoing conversation with other funders. So thank you very much for your attention, and I'll pass the micro to Tolis, who will go now to the technical side of the tool.
Okay, thank you, Maria, again for a second time for the introduction. I'm sorry again for this slight technical problem we had in the beginning. Just before I start the presentation, I'm going to show you one more slide where to find the communities. I'm going to explain you in the next minutes exactly how to go there and what to do. How to contact us, you can always send an email to communities@efc.be, and the main people that you can get in contact for the communities is Rosine Herveyer, who is the supervisor, and me, who am the technical administrator. And that's all for PowerPoints today. I'm going to go now and show you a little bit of the first steps in the communities, and first of all, how to go to the communities. In order to go to the communities, first of all, there are a couple of ways. Let me just open that a bit. Perfect. Now, the easiest way to go to the communities is if you just open a browser and you type in the URL communities.efc.be. As you can see here, I've already typed it, and if you just press enter, then there's the communities portal. The other way to do it is if you go to the home page of the EFC, there will always be a select box on the footer of the website with a list of our projects. Here are the communities. So if you just click on the EFCommunities, you will have that, or exactly that. Let me just show it to you. There it is. That's the landing page of the communities. Now, so the next thing is explaining you exactly how to do some things, and how one of them is how to log in the communities. Now, some time ago, when we first launched the projects on EFC members being able to register online for EFC events, you all got a username and password that you can use to log into the project's portal. That username and password is the same that you can use to log into the EFCommunities. In case you have not used it, in case you have forgotten it, you can always do the procedure as I'm going to describe it to you right now. If you click on the I forgot my password link here, there is a pop-up dialog that allows you to select two options. Either if you're a member of the EFC, which I'm going to follow that example right now, you just click on the my organization is an EFC member, and then you're redirected to this projects portal that the EFC has created. And by clicking the password forgotten, here you can provide your email address. Your email address is your organizational email, and the text from that image as a security precaution. And if you just click on the send button here, then you will get reminded of your password. Here is an example of the password that you will get. So this is my login. Now everybody knows my password for that. So I'm going to close it for now. And that's how easy you can get reminded of that username and password to log into the EFCommunities. In case you have invited someone else, because yes, you can invite someone external, a consultant or someone else, to participate in a community that you are a moderator, that you have created, that person will have to click on the I forgot my password, click I was invited as a guest to the EFCommunities, and then provide his email that he was that was sent to him. Click on the submit button. Okay, so there is the email that you will be getting. It's just a link that once you click, you're again being redirected to that page, in which you have to provide your username and twice your new password in order to log in. And after that, you can log in again, being an invited guest in the communities. In any case, if you have any problem in either of these cases to log in, you can always send an email to the email that we've shown you in the beginning, the communities@efc.be. We can reply to you or fix that problem that you have been getting. For now, let me just also say that all participants of the webinar are muted. I'll do the presentation as fast as possible because there are not a lot of things to say, and things are quite easy when it comes to the EFCommunities and how to do stuff there. And then we'll just open the floor for any questions or anything you want to comment on the communities. Now, after we finish the section about how to log in there, or how to get your password reminded. Let me just say that there are two, we could separate things done in the EFC when it comes to being a member of the EFC or not being a member of the EFC, being a guest in the EF communities. The portal is mainly for EFC members. However, you can invite your own people on community. However, the people that you will invite are restricted to seeing only the material in the communities that they are invited to, and not the main pages I show to you right now. And there are some other limitations that I will be explaining to you during the webinar. Now, this is the homepage of the EFCommunities. It's mainly comprised of three sections. The left column, which is the link to the EFCommunity Central. The EFCommunity Central is the main community of the EFCommunities. It's where all EFC members can join. It is not of a specific interest. It's just a community where the EFC Secretariat will communicate with you, and you can engage yourselves in material and communications and discussions about general topics on the EFC. There is a link to the newsletter, our latest newsletter, the de facto. There is a link to a resource digest on philanthropy created by the EFC Secretariat, and there is a link to there are links to an FAQ guidelines, a user's manual, if you want to submit a support request to the Secretariat about some help that you might need on the communities. Now, on the central column, there is the last 5 posts or questions or answers in the Q&A forum. And by clicking on the more link, you can go and see all of them. There is a feed from the European Foundations.eu website, which is a website showcasing the stories from foundations. And on the right panel, there is the latest activity, which means you can see here the last 5 actions performed by members of the EF community in various communities. There are the last 3 events in the main calendar of the communities, and there is a jobs forum. Here you can see the last 3 job vacancies in which you can see job vacancies, and you can add your own, which is, of course, is relevant to the philanthropic sector. Now, what do you do the first time you go in the EF communities? We strongly urge you to do 2 things. First of all is go to my profile here, and if you click on it, you can also see my profile. This is my profile, and every contact in the EFC, every contact in the EF communities has a profile page. The first thing that you should do is edit that profile page. That profile page is consists of this section where you can see some information that each member in the EF communities can provide on themselves. I will click on the edit now to edit that part. From here, for example, you can reset your password, change some things, phone numbers, last name, emails, and etc. Organization, location. Really important thing is that you add your biography. Why is this important? Is because a good biography can enhance your opportunities for other people and members of the EF communities to find you if they search for something that they are interested in. So if, for example, I would add in my biography that I'm interested in, I'm working for a foundation in the disability, disability project officer, or I'm involved in other programs, then if someone would search for these keywords, I would appear as a search result, and that would enhance my chances to get contacted by other people and engage in a networking conversation. I can add my photo, as you can see here. I can set my preferred date format. Before I go on, I would like to say that the account that we are using now is my account. I'm the administrator of the portal, which means that I can see some more things that you will be able to see, for example, this section here, or the home path, for example. And in addition to that, EFC members only will not be able to reset their passwords from here, as I showed you before, or change the first name, last name, email, and organization. That is because in order to maintain the same username and password for all EFC members, regardless if they're using the communities or the projects to register for an event, both these portals use the same e-services database, and that database is being synced every 15 minutes. So even if you change something from here, in the next 15 minutes it will be overridden, so there is no way to change some of your contact details from here. You have to do it either the way I showed you before, by going to the projects portal, or by just sending us an email, and we will just take care of it immediately. Now I will just cancel editing my bio from here. Under my information, we can see my last activity. On the right panel, you can see the tags I have applied to comments that I have contributed. And here are my communities. And this is the next step. After you have edited your profile, you can go and ask to join in a community. So now it's a good opportunity to show how to do that. If you click on the Communities tab here, here is a list of all the active EF communities. Now again, I'm the administrator, so I get to see and only see some of the private communities. And now let's explain what's a private and a public community. A private community, no, let's begin with a private probably. A public community is a community where people can ask to join. People can see it in the listing of these communities here. I can find it, for example. I can click on it. For example, let's go to that one. And by clicking on the join button, I can send an email to the moderator of the community and ask to be included in the members of that community. After I'm joined, I can contribute in that community. Now, also in the public community, all members of the EF communities, all EFC members, should I say, can just browse the content that has been tagged as public in that community, even though if they are not members, but their privileges are limited only to seeing, not to contributing. Again, this is for the public communities. Now, a private community is a community that, of course, EFC members can create a private community, and the difference with the public is that it will not appear here, although as I told you, I can see the private ones because I might have to moderate, delete, or edit some of them. So private communities will not appear in your listing here. You will not be able to ask to join because you will not be able to find one to join. The only way for someone to join a private community is if the moderator invites the person directly to that community. Of course, all content in that community is hidden and cannot be seen by anyone but its members. So you have a choice, either do a private or a public community. So again, by clicking on a public community, by clicking the join button, I can ask to join. I can just click on the join button. I can send a message to the moderator asking him to join. The moderator will get the email and accept or deny your invitation. After you are accepted in the community, you will be able to contribute to that community. I'm, for example, now in the Children and Youth Thematic Network community. And let's go ahead and see some of the features, not some, but all of the features of the community and how to perform some basic tasks. So all communities have these five features: the overview, the blog, the wiki, the calendar, and the files. The overview page is just an introductory page that you can add a description about the community so that people can have a look and find out what the community is about if they browse to that community. Underneath here you have the recent activity that has been performed in that community. On the right side you have the tags applied to content in that community, and then you have the active people in that community. If you click on the members, you can see who are the members in that community, and if you click on the tags, you can see all the tags that have been applied to that community. And that's it. If we continue to the blog feature, the blog feature is nothing more than conversation tool. Everybody knows more or less what a blog is. So I'm going to just show you some of the basic functionality in the blog. If you just click on the add blog entry, then we will be redirected to a page where we can add a blog post. Generally, blog posts can be added by every member of the community, and they also have the ability to be edited only by their authors, and no one else can edit or delete a blog post. It's taking some time. Just refresh the page in case. Okay. All right. So here in the add blog entry, I can add a title, which is of course mandatory. I can add tags. Tags this better describe the content of the blog entry, the purpose, the overall topic of the blog entry. I can type tags by just adding some keywords there. For example, if I add this ability, I want to add disability, it just found that there is another tag, discrimination there. If I want to select it, I can just click on that and keep on adding more tags. Or if I want to add something like communications or any of these, I can just select it again. Or if there's not another tag already been applied, I can just type my own original test tag and click on add, for example. Or I can just remove tags like so. Here I can add my text. I can add rich text, images, or anything else. I can format my text. I can add attachments. I can add as many attachments as I want. There is, however, a limit of 20 megabytes per attachment, and that's mainly for security reasons. The two last options apply to all content in any community. The first, send email alert to community members, which is by default checked, means that whenever you perform an action, which is add a blog post, upload a file, create an event, edit or any of these content, when you do a comment on a blog post, you will be able to send a notification to the members of that community, and they will be getting an email to their inbox saying that Tolis has created that or changed that, for example, or commented on that post. That's good if you want to notify your members on something kind of urgent, or if you think that is important that they will be notified in their email. And of course it gives them the opportunity to get notified on actions and content without even having to log into the communities. Now the security state, as I told you before, you can do the community either public or private. Here you can override the general security state of the community. So for example, if you have a public community, you can add content that will not be public, that will be private only to the members of that community. So you can hide, for example, some content of the public community and keep it only to your members without allowing other EFC communities members that are not joined in your community to just even see it. So if I click on submit here, I will post my blog. I'm not going to do it now. We'll go to a community that has some more content. Let's go here to the community central, which I have explained that it's the main community. So for example, if I click on that blog post, I can, for example, add my comment here, even attach a file, and if I leave this email alert as checked, then I will be able to notify all members of my action. One thing to finalize with the blog is that the second way and even more interesting way to add the blog post in your community is by email. The way to do it is if you go to the URL here, you can find here that there is a section after the communities slash. So the ID of my community here is the EFCommunities Central. If I just click on that and copy it, and then if I go and open a new email, there we go. And if I send that email to EFCommunities Central at communities.efc.be, add a test subject here, add my content here, if I add my attachments or pictures or anything I want in that email, then that email will be transformed in a new, yes, I don't want it now. That email will be transformed into a new blog post. The subject of your email will be the title of your blog post. All attachments will be included as well here. The body of your email will be the text in your blog post. And should you want to comment on that, after you get notified on that action, then by replying to the notification that you will have received in your email, by replying to that email, you will be able to either comment on that blog post. So when you get a notification that I have, for example, created that blog post, in that notification, if you reply, then you will be able to comment on my blog post, which is rather interesting and gives you more flexibility as into logging in or where or how easily to do things. Now moving into the wiki page. The wiki is, as you all know, is a collection of structured pages. It's usually used for creating a pool of information that will not change over time that frequently. You can add a pool of information, results from a seminar, results from an event, or similar content to that. It's, I think, a little bit more tricky to use than the blog, and the reason is that there is a specific way to create links from pages to pages. So for example, if I am here and I want to edit that home page of my wiki, I will go to the edit button, and I can for example type my new text here, new text. Sorry. Text. Now, what if you want to create a new page? Then if you want to create a new page, you have to think of first creating a link to that page, and what will be your phrase or word linking to that new page. So if I want to do a new page, and I will call it, well, new page, I can create a new link pointing me to that by selecting that phrase and pressing that button here. It just added a set of double parentheses in that phrase. If I now just click on the submit button, I will see that that phrase is red and there is a plus icon here. If I click on that, then I'm just being redirected to that new page where I can add my tags, my text, set the security state and the email alert if I want to, and click on submit. I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Just add something here, click on submit. And that's how I'm gonna create a new wiki page. The previous wiki page will have that phrase that I've selected to turn into a link as a link, so you can create structure of pages. So for example, if I go to another community and show you an example of a structured set of pages. All right. So I know by fact that that community has a lot of wiki pages in there. There you go. So the wiki section of that community, the EFComX, has also links to other pages like so. And all of these are being done with the way that I have showed you. Also interesting thing in the wiki is the history button. The history button, if you select it, it will just show you all previous actions and versions of a page. So you can either preview a previous an old version of the page, or you can even restore to a previous one, so you don't have to remember what has been changed or by whom or anything. You just go back and restore a previous one. Now let's move on to the calendar. The calendar, I guess everyone has used or are using calendars in your everyday life. The calendar is a collection of events, not only to your community, but I will show you a way how you can get information, events from other calendars as well. The way to, there are a few tricks that you can add a new calendar, add a new event, excuse me. One of them is by clicking the add event, of course, button here, or if you can just hover a specific date, for example, let's say 15th of October, and you can press the plus icon here, and that will send us to the add a calendar entry form, where I can add a title in my calendar entry. I can add tags to describe my event. I can choose a category, which I will explain you in the next step. I can select a start date and an end date, or select it to be an all-day event. I can set locations, descriptions, attendees, contact name and contact email, and again add attachments, and if I want to send email alert to all community members. And that's how easy you can create an event. Then the events appear here. So if I let's go to another one. There you go. Calendar. All right. So if I click on that event, evaluating signs, there is also in each event there is an add to Outlook icon. If I click on link, excuse me, if I click on that, that will save an ICS file in my desktop, which then can be imported by double clicking on it to your Outlook. So you will be reminded in your Outlook of that event without having need to go to the EFCommunities calendar all the time. Now, as I told you before, there is a way to import calendars from other communities. You can click on the setup link, which is located here. And here you can see that I have imported in that specific calendars from other communities. For example, I have the EFC Research Forum calendar here, the Children and Youth calendar, the Groundcraft, the Global Development, and so on. The way to do it is if I click on the Add layer, I can give it a name, for example, and I can select, okay, I want to see, I want to include in my calendar events from, for example, that calendar, for example. I can give it a color code to make it a bit more easier to understand which is what. And I can click on submit, and that will add that calendar in my calendar. So it's a bit easier and can gives you a lot of functionality to not having to go to all sorts of communities that you might be subscribed, or you might be a member, or you might be even interested to seeing what their events are. Of course, you can also categorize your events by clicking on the add category here and creating all sorts of categories, and then adding your events in different categories for better classification. I'm going to click on cancel here. And lastly, the files is a file system. It's a way to store files in a structured folder system. You can create folders and you can add folders inside of them. You can add files. So you can use that tool to avoid sending over and over files to people that you're working or collaborating on files, to avoid having duplicate files. How to perform actions is really easy. If I want to create a folder, for example, here, we'll click on the add folder icon, add a title, tags, and if I want to keep it still public, as for example, this community is a public one, or if I want to keep it private. And of course, I can add files in a folder, again by adding titles, uploading the file, and saying if I want to notify community members or set the security state of that file public or private. And of course, if I want, I can multi-upload a set of files by clicking on here and set the add files button, and uploading several files at once without having to do this action add file over and over and over again. So these are the more or less basic functionality that you can do in a community. What I have not shown you so far is how to create a community, which is quite interesting. So in order to create a community, you can go in the Communities tab and locate that button here that reads Add Community. If I click on that, here is the form that I have to fill in to add a community. Again, I'm saying that all EFC members can add the community, but not the guests in the communities. So here, for example, I can add a community. I added the original test. I can add tags in the community that describe the purpose of the community. I can add a description. The description is a short text that will appear in the listing of the communities over here, as you can see. I'll go to my form back again. The text that you can add here is the text that will appear in the overview of the community. So, for example, that is the text as you see it in an already created community. I'm going back again in the Add Community form. Here is where you can select if the community that you will create will be public or private. Again, private means that people can ask to join. They can find the community in the listing of the communities. They can see the content, but they can't contribute. The private is completely private, and the only way for people to join is if they are being invited in the community. Here also you can select which tools you want to enable in your community. It can be a blog, a wiki, a calendar, or files. And you can set the default tool, which is the first page people will see when they view this community. The last three options can be changed at any time by the moderator, by the creator of that community. So you can start off a community with, for example, just a blog. And then if you see that your members ask you for a calendar or a file system, you can add them, or you can deselect something. And of course you can change the security state of the community if you want, and you can change, of course, the default tool of the community. And then if you click on submit, then the next you will have created your community, and the next page that you will see, let's go again to the central community. The next page that you will see is the add members. So This is the next step that you see after you create a community, and of course you can go to that section in an already existing community by clicking on the members link and then clicking on add existing. Here you can add members that already are in the database of the EFCommunities, which means that you can add people that already are EFC members, are contacts of EFC member organizations. So for example, if I want to add people in the community central, if I just type, let's see, okay, there is a list of people that contain the set of characters I have added there. So if I want, I can select that person, or let's add Leticia. And I can do this if I want to add as many people as I want. Here I can add the text that will be sent to their email as an invitation. You can add something personal here. Please join the my community and so on. And of course it is into their, if they want, they can join the community. I will click on cancel now. I will not invite these people. As I told you before, you can also invite except contacts of EFC member organizations. You can also invite other people. You can do that by clicking on the invite new here and then adding a set of email addresses with enter to separate them. Add the text here as an invitation text and click on submit. These people will be invited only to that community that you're doing this task from. When they log in, they will be able to see only the content of that community and not of any other community. So you can really create a set of people if you want to collaborate on a project, and just have them look only the content of that community that the project is using to collaborate. Let's click on cancel here. If you are the creator of the community, you are the moderator of the community. What's the moderator, for example? Let's go on to manage members here. So the person that creates the community is by default the first and sole moderator. However, as you can see here, there are a lot of people invited and members of that community. You can assign to other people also to be moderators of a community, or you can remove people that have been added to that community. And if there were people that have been externally added, invited to that community, you would also have a checkbox here that would say resend info in case they haven't found the information to log in. So in a community you can have more than one moderators. However, you cannot have no moderators in a community. And if you want to leave a community, you have to assign moderating privileges to someone else before you leave the community. One last thing before I finish that presentation is the search tool and how to manage your notification preferences. Here in the search input field, if I just type on something, you will see that I will be getting just this. All right. There you go. As you type, you see that the system filters all content from the communities, which includes people, wikis, files, events, or even communities, tagged with a set of keywords that you have provided in that input field. So a really good way to find things is using the search tool in the EFCommunities. And to finish the presentation, if you click on the My Profile button, as I told you before, whenever someone is creating content or editing a content or contributes to a community, he has the power to and the ability to notify the other members of the community. Each member, however, has the power and the ability to intervene to this notification system. How you can do it is if you go to your profile and you click on the Manage Communities. For example, this is the communities that I'm a member of. If I would have the possibility, which I don't have because I'm the moderator of that community, I would have a checkbox here that I would be able to quit the community. And here I can set the how soon I want to be notified about activities that occur in a community. For example, if I want, I can say I want to be notified every week on the EFCommunity Central, and I want to be notified every 2 weeks in the About community, and I want to be notified immediately about the rest of these communities. So that gives you a lot of flexibility on how often do you want to get a digest from these communities. And lastly, there is a setting here that you are able to attach files directly to all email alerts. So if you are uploading any file in your file system section in your community, you can you can send the actual file as an attachment in the email that will be sent as a notification to the other community members. However, that kind of overrides the functionality of the file system, because then you do end up with many versions of a file. There are also implications regarding the size of the file that you're sending. So as you can see by yourselves, the no setting is the default and the recommended. However, you can select it to yes and send the file if you wish to do so as an attachment to the email notification. You can always log out with the logout button here, and I guess that's it. That concludes at least the first introduction of the webinar on the EFCommunities. I really hope that I was not that fast, because we had to do a lot of things in a short time. If you have any questions, if you have any remarks or anything, please send us email. Please type us. You can even type now something, and we will be able to reply to that question or remark that you have. We're really looking forward to the EFCommunities. We think it's a portal. We think it's a service that you will be using a lot. Thank you. Something that I have forgotten to say, because I'm in a hurry, is the Q&A forum. The Q&A forum is basically a forum where members, EFC members only, not invited people, can go and ask questions and get answers from either the EFC Secretariat or from other members. So, for example, if you have a question and you want to get some information or answers from that, you can post your question here, and people will be able to reply to you. As you can see here, for now, EFC Secretariat is replying to questions. So that's it. I don't know if we have any questions regarding the EFCommunities. I'm trying to see if... Okay. So I'm going to give the floor to Alberto Omella now. Okay. So Mr. Omella is asking us something regarding the EFCommunities. Yes, of course. The question is if an organization can have more than one account. Of course, you can have more than one accounts. The thing is that each account is associated and restricted only to one person, per one person. So not one person can have more than one account in the EFCommunities. However, each member in your organization can have an account in the EFCommunities. I hope I was all right. Yes, of course. The EFCommunities portal is seen by any browser, either that is Internet Explorer or Firefox or Chrome or any browser. No. Again, the question is that if there is something required to complement the access for the first time in the EFCommunities, nothing is required. The only thing that's required is your username and password. I have told you how to find that username and password. I can show you now. Let's go to the EFC website. All this presentation that I've done so far, you can also find it if you go to the to our website. I'm closing browsers here. It will load. We have created a set of 8 video tutorials in case someone has not been able to log in and register for the webinar now. In case someone did not manage to make it on time, in case someone didn't find time to participate in the webinar. So if you go to the website, okay. Okay, in the Resource Center, in the video blog section, there is a playlist, EFCommunities. So here, for example, we have created all sorts of tasks that you might need guidance or help to do in the EFCommunities. So, for example, if you want to see how to use the calendars,